Hello, it's Thursday. Hello and welcome. I hope this is going through. I haven't been making lives a lot this year, this year, but listen, I have been motivated. I've been motivated to make some of these lives. I'm excited to talk about certain things, especially in this month that is Black History Month, which is supposed to be a reminder. It's not supposed to be the only month that we talk about Black history in the year. It's just supposed to be a reminder to return to that, to keep integrating that with whatever it is that we're teaching and asking for. So I'm back. I'm making this live video. In the last few days of Black History Month, I've been seeing some things online. Okay, I think I've shared everywhere. All right, I've been seeing some things online that have been posted by friends, acquaintances, just things in my feed that are awesome, that are showing that people are paying attention, and some things that are troubling. I don't know if the things I'm seeing are troubling. I don't know if those people posting know that they're troubling, but I thought I should come out and just talk about this stuff a little more. If you don't know me, my name is Alexandra Loves or Alexandra Lewis. I teach, I'm a spiritual guide, oracle. I help women create the life they want by being who they are, but I also teach anti-racism from a spiritual perspective. Guess what, everybody? This is my last month really diving into these subjects for the year. I've been, zeroed in on anti-racism and allyship from a spiritual perspective since May. Like, that's all I've been doing, and I'm gonna take a break after this. So I'm gonna be talking to you a lot this month about what I'm seeing about anti-racism allyship, and inviting you into ways to work with me further on that if you want. This might be it. This might be all you need. So thank you for being here. Let me know in the comments if you're here. I am definitely here to answer questions if you're watching this, and if it's a replay, I'll answer questions later. So here we go. White people. This is the thing. This is what I see out there. I see a lot of people wanting to do well. I see a lot of people wanting to be an ally, be anti-racist, change their communities, change their families. I work with a lot of moms, change their families, but don't know what to do. And I understand why, because look, we live in a system, okay, there's a lot of white supremacy in our system. And by white supremacy, I don't mean you put on a hood and burn crosses in people's lawns. By white supremacy, I mean one of the pillars of this nation. Okay, white supremacy there's a lot of things white supremacy means, but it also means everything through the white gaze, G-A-Z-E. Okay, the white gaze. White people being the gatekeepers of all industries, white people being, having generational wealth. It doesn't mean you do, but I'm just saying, like, as a population, as a group of people, it is white people who hold generational wealth. Okay, so there's white people not wanting to recognize or understand the problems of marginalized communities. Okay, there's so many things that white supremacy is, and one of them is a cognitive dissonance to the issues of marginalized people. Okay, so I understand that when it comes to allyship and anti-racism and, creating a better new world, more equity, I understand why it's hard as a white person to know what to do, because it's by design that you don't need to pay attention to the inequities. You don't need to pay attention if you don't want to. Right? That's by design. So I understand why now in 2021, when everybody's talking about racism allyship and performative allyship, and you don't know where you belong, or you don't know what to say, or you're always making mistakes and you're seeing all the fights online, I understand why it is so fucking confusing. Okay? Somebody says, hello, Cosmic Goddess. Hello. I love you, April. Hello. So I want to share with you today the one focus that I would like white people to have, and then I'm going to tell you the three things that stand in the way of that. Okay, it is one focus. It is your baseline, your foundation. I teach foundations. It is your foundational baseline of what you're always going to come back to. Whether is you look away from the racism for a while, or you come back, or you've gone out and you've made mistakes and then you come back, or you've whatever it is. This is the baseline that you always come back to. Are you ready? I see people in the audience. Let me know in the comments. Are you ready to hear it? Because it's simpler than you think. You may or may not already know it. Let me know. This is the one thing that I want white people to do. This is the one thing that all white people should be doing. Here it comes. I want you to commit to your anti-racism, your allyship, your building equity, whatever it is for you around race, right? I want you to commit to it for life. That's it. I want you to commit to it for life. Okay? I'm getting yeses. Yes. Yay. Okay. Now what does that mean? Oh my God. Does that mean I have to go to the front lines and protest every single day? Does that mean I need to be a freedom fighter and like go to school for anti-racism and read 10 books a week? And I don't have time for that. I have kids. I have a home to take care of. I have a job. I have a community. No, that's not what it means. Okay. And I'm going to get into that in just a minute here. I want you to understand that what I want as somebody who lives in the United States of America, as somebody who's in the United States of America, marks me as a black woman, as part of a marginalized community, as someone who is seeing people get constantly lynched in the streets, seeing this new young woman who just got attacked by the police and almost died. Look, what I want from white people is to commit for life. Now, what that looks like is different for everyone. It is different for everyone. Here's an extra tip before I get into the 3 things that stand in your way. Here's an extra tip, and this is going to be controversial. I know a lot of people don't like me saying this, but, okay, and we can get into, I'll make a whole nother video on performative allyship later. But here's something that's so important. This is so important. Whatever it is for you, anti-racism, allyship, accomplishment, whatever it is for you, that you want to do when it comes to like racism and all that, whatever it is for you, your self-interest has to be involved. Your spirit, okay, the self-interest of your spirit, who you really are, okay, that where your dreams live, your spirit, your nature, your gifts, the thing that gives you fuel to be a human being every day. Okay, your spirit has to be interested in whatever your allyship is and whatever your accomplishment is. It has to be in alignment with your self-interest. And I know that sounds counterintuitive because we think of like anti-racism allyship as selfless and as a gift to someone else or like as a duty, right? But I'm telling you, we all know what happens, right? George Floyd got lynched in the end of May, right? The end of May. How many of you or how many of your friends were up in arms and now are too busy to do anything, to be a part of anything anti-racist or an ally or to educate themselves or whatever? It hasn't even been a year. We saw a lynching on TV, on video. We saw it happen, and now people are too busy. And this is brings me to my first point. Something that is in the way for white people, right? You're white. Okay? This is something this is something that keeps you from doing this one thing I'm asking you to do, which is to commit for life to your anti-racism, your allyship, accomplish whatever it is, okay? It's because your being white stands in the way because you can walk away, because you can look away. I'm not saying you're white, you're bad. That's not what I'm saying. Don't get it twisted, okay? What I'm saying is because you don't walk around with this color of skin, because you don't walk around with society marking you as a marginalized community, you have a pass. You don't have to think about what might happen to you as you walk out your door. Okay, you don't have to, if you're looking away, right? We see all this terrible stuff happen to people on TV or in our neighborhoods or whatever, and then 2 weeks later you can not think about it. You cannot feel marked because you're white. You can go back and raise your families or work at your job. You don't have to think about it. So I'm not saying that white is bad. Don't get it twisted. I'm gonna say that again. I'm just saying that gives you a pass. Okay, so this is the number one thing that keeps you from doing the one thing I want you to do, which is to commit to your anti-racism, your allyship, or whatever it is for you for life. Okay, people are saying, have to run, but I'll catch you later. Yes, I love seeing this. Andrea, I'd love to hear what you think. Megan Brilla, hello, so true. It's nice to see you. Please do. Yes, also like, share this video. I see that there's a lot of people in the audience. It's okay to comment if you want and ask questions. Look, I don't use shaming. I don't use guilting in my practices. I don't believe in investing or spending time with people who use shaming and guilting in their practices. It doesn't get us anywhere. Okay, we have to do this together. We have to find a way to talk with each other and work on all of this together. And if we can't, then maybe we need to take a break and do other work for ourselves. Okay. Here's the second thing. Remember, I'm talking about what keeps you to committing to a lifetime of anti-racism, allyship, accomplish it, whatever it is for you around race. Okay. And that is, you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do, right? I remember in the summer, I was saying out loud to people, if you are not taking action, we cannot be connected. We really can't be friends. I need to see people taking action. And a lot of the reactions I got from people were, oh, I can't go to protests and I don't feel comfortable on the ground and blah, blah, blah. Assuming that I meant that you have to go stand in front of the feds and get tear gassed. And that is I don't do that. Okay. I don't expect somebody to do that who doesn't want to do that. Okay. There's so much information, especially on social media, and especially if you're just now unplugging and realizing there is a problem, right? If you haven't done, read the history or kind of like unplugged from the system that says there's not a problem, there's not a problem, there's not a problem. Black people are just whining and being victims, right? If you're just now unplugging from that system, right? It's very difficult to know what to do. Okay. There's people who are angry and full of rage, rightfully so, validly so. People are fighting for their lives in their neighborhoods. All of that's going on. And if you're just now unplugging, or if you've tried to sort of like take a step in and be like, okay, what can I do? How can I be ally? How can I help people? How can I have a conversation with my friend? How can I, all of that. And there is a million answers, a million things you should do, a million things you shouldn't do. People may be calling you names. You're seeing conversations where people are having fights and you don't know why the fight happened. All of that stuff is happening. It makes sense that you don't know what to do, right? Again, we are talking about, I'm asking you to commit to a lifetime of racism, to commit to a lifetime of anti-racism, allyship, accomplishment, or building equity, whatever it is that you're drawn to, whatever is connected in with the self-interest of your spirit, right? So this is the other thing. People look at everything that's happening, everything that people is telling them, and also looking at like the trauma of it. Okay, we all have trauma. It doesn't matter what color we all have trauma. We're all in a oppressed system. It manifests different ways for us, but it affects us all. Okay, so I understand why you might not know what to do. Okay, that's why people like me are here. That's why we have communities. That's why we get in touch with the self-interest of our own spirit, so that we know which avenue to take. Maybe for some of you, it is standing on the front lines. Maybe for some of you, it is doing regular food boxes. And if you want to know 2 great groups that are doing that, do DM me and I'll send you their way. Okay. Maybe it is like, I'm going to educate myself and then my family, right? Maybe it's like, I'm going to, assist in this community, whatever it is. Okay. But at some point you do have to pick something. And I suggest that you pick something that feels right for your lifestyle. Okay. It's still going to be uncomfortable. We're still talking about like racism. Okay. That's not fun for anybody to talk about or engage with. It's meant to be divisive. Racism in and of itself is divisive, right? So that's going to be there, but you need to, if you don't know what to do, then that's when you have to do inner discovery of like, okay, I care about this, but I keep walking away. I care about this, but everybody's yelling at each other. I care about this, but I'm too sensitive to deal with like the trauma and the pain. There's still something you can do. There's always something you can do. Not knowing what to do is not a valid excuse anymore. I should say that differently. Not knowing what to do is a valid excuse. It's unwise to let that be your resting place. Okay. You still can move forward. You still can make a difference. And that healing is not just for the marginalized communities around you. It's also for you as well. Okay. Here's the last thing. It's the last thing. I added this just recently. Okay. Now, again, we're talking about what I'd like you to do, what I'd like all white people to do. And that is to commit to a lifetime of anti-racism, allyship, accomplishment, whatever it is for you. Okay. And that is And I know my moms are going to understand this. I know those who are entrepreneurs are going to understand this. I know those who are building a community are going to understand this. And that is, we're too busy. We're too busy. Let me tell you something. I know busy, okay? I've been building my business for a long time. I've been a full-time nanny for a long time. Um, I have I have so many friends who their husband works, they work, or they have three kids, and every kid is in like three different types of sports, or doing like 10 different types of music lessons on Zoom classes. I know that a lot of us are hustling right now because we're trying to like whatever it is. Okay, life happens. Life will keep happening. It doesn't stop. Okay, I totally understand that. But here's the difference between you as a white person and me. For me, I never have the chance to be too busy to deal with how this world looks at me and treats me, and what I have to deal with on my feed and people in my inbox, and whatever comes along with being part of a marginalized community. I can never really be too busy because I don't have a choice, right? Again, this is not to say that white is bad, or look at me, I'm the victim because I have dark skin. That's not what this is about. I'm just laying out the facts so that you understand. I want you to have I want to help open the door to a new perspective, so we can put this into some context. Look, just because slavery ended doesn't mean that the problem's going to fix itself. Just because we had a black president, or a woman of color vice president now, or that Trump is out of office, or that Democrats are holding the House, or that a lot of people seem to be talking about these issues that we're talking about, it doesn't mean that racism is over. It doesn't mean that all of the tension that you're seeing and all the divisiveness that you were seeing is going to go away. As a matter of fact, it's just going to intensify. And as we continue to go on into 2021, if you haven't gotten to that place yet where you understand that even if you are not black, that these things do affect you and your family and the future and your children and the community around you, if you haven't gotten there yet, you will in 2021. This is the year. This is the year for the ultimate perception. Here's the cool thing too. I want to add this. Your focus, your attention to, your figuring out what it is that you can do for yourself and your community and your family that is around anti-racism, allyship, accomplishment, building equity, justice, whatever it is. Okay, it's not just healing for other people, it's also healing for you. And this is why I keep coming back to, it has to be tied in with the self-interest of your spirit. Because if you help other people heal around you, then it heals you as well. And we're never too busy for that. All right? If we don't all come together, we need all hands on deck. This is not just about Alexandra and anti-racist people or activists over there, or the president or your senator or that community leader fixing it. We all have to be doing something. All hands have to be on deck. And it's going to be, how we do that is going to be different for everyone. When you tie it in with the self-interest of your soul, with your spirit, then you won't be too busy. When you understand that this healing is also for you, that standing up for someone else is also for you, that changing a system for someone else is also for you, then you will never be too busy to do this. Okay? So that's what I wanted to say. I think I covered it. Again, this is I'm back on the Facebook Live. This is the last month that I will be teaching. This is the last course that I will be teaching in anti-racism this year. I want to tell you about it really quick before I go. I'm teaching a course called Moms and Race. We're meeting 3 times. That's it. It's simple. You show up, you absorb, you have the materials forever. I'm going to post the information about it because this video is kind of long. I'm going to post the information about this. I was asked to do my anti-racist from a spiritual perspective teaching for a specific group, and then I opened it up out into the public for people who want to join us. This really is for moms who are like struggling with their own perspectives and figuring out like how to do this in their how to do this in their busy lives, how to talk to their children about racism, how to really make effective change, and how to do it in a way when we don't know what to do. We maybe we've had some mishaps and we feel we're not motivated, and also when we're busy. Oh my god. Yes, I understand. And also when we're busy, how do we be effective? How do we build this new world? How do we be significant? How do we get that significant in anti-racism, allyship, and accomplishment? And how do we do it in a way that feels right for us? Okay. So that course is coming. Enrollment is open now. I put everything in all the information in the video. Early bird ends February 8th. So get on it, friends. There's split pay available. And yeah, I love you all. Thank you for listening. Of course, please do share. And I look forward to working with each and every one of you. Okay, bye-bye.